Rundown.
Right, let's leap across the pond to say hello to Davis Fang, live in Sydney, Australia. Very good evening to you, Davis.
Hello. Good morning, everyone.
Oh, good morning.
Oh, evening.
Evening. Good morning. This is Renee's favourite bit of the weekend.
It really is.
It really is, yes.
Davis
Although I
knows
have to
this.
say, I'm quite offended by you, Renee,
Oh,
because I would
good.
love to follow the King's TikTok account. I think that would be fantastic.
And why does that not surprise
Imagine him
me,
doing
Davis?
all TikTok dances. That would be
King
hilarious.
dances? You want to do some
Exactly.
king dances? Right, okay. That's really weird. Right, so come on then, wow us with your latest tech news.
Well, I'm sure we are all excited because WWDC, which is Apple's developer event, is just a week away. Just 1 week.
Wow.
We're so excited. Last week we heard about the Reality Pro headset leaks, and this week iOS 17, which is the new iPhone operating system for this year, has leaked as well. And I think, David, you'd be very, very interested in the biggest new feature, because you can now turn your iPhone into a home hub display. And that's a bit similar to the Pixel tablet that we saw recently as well. They're calling it
Stop. What? Right, stop. So what do you mean?
So basically, this will be compatible with all iPhone 14 Pro models. They've already got always on displays, as you might be familiar. But now you can probably put it onto a stand. We don't know how this will look like yet.
you love a
but
stand.
I do like a stand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It will turn your phone into a home hub display so you can see your calendar, your weather, your notifications, and it will basically make it a lot more useful while your phone is charging. If you want a better idea, it's a little bit similar to the exhibition mode on Palm WebOS phones from over 10 years ago. So you've got your phone over here,
Right.
and then you just pop it on the stand,
Yes.
and then automatically it will hopefully turn into into a lock screen. It's not really showing up right now because probably it's a 10-year-old phone, but you get the basic point. Like, you'll see your notifications, you'll see your calendar, stuff like that.
Right.
And
Is this going to change my life?
I believe it might, David. It's very exciting.
It
But if
is
that
very
won't, there's some other changes as well.
Oh, yeah.
For example, we are getting a revamped control center. This hasn't been changed in years. The screen that you slide down to change the brightness. And also, this might be really popular, there will be a journaling app, which is so exciting, isn't it?
A what?
You can write down your ideas and your thoughts throughout your day.
What's different to writing
Instead
in
of
notes?
notes.
Well, the feature is that it will automatically track your day and give you prompts on when it's best to write down your thoughts.
This is just too
For
much.
example, it would know if you're out, on the beach, and it will tell you to write your thoughts about the beach. And it'll also detect when friends are nearby, and also it'll give you prompts on on text message and phone calls to include in your journal as well. So that's a little bit creepy, but also cool
You've just
for
had
some users.
sex.
I
Why
guess.
don't you write about it?
I beg your pardon?
Well,
Precisely.
imagine.
We're having breakfast. What's
Imagine.
wrong with you this morning?
This is terrible.
Yeah.
This is a terrible
So producer
idea.
Tom looks quite excited about it. Do you? Yeah, he
I'm not
likes
sure
it.
about the journaling feature, but I think the smart lock screen will be interesting at least.
Well, I mean, I think my understanding is that if you have something that, I mean, what is interesting is this becomes your interface to your home, and that is for me quite interesting. The fact is, and we talked about this actually probably 20 years ago about how you'd have a personal device that would control everything in your house, and here we
Don't
are.
we have this? I mean, I have
I think
Ring
I
that
do.
controls my alarm. I have
Yeah.
the other one that controls my heating, Nest.
Yes, I've got.
Do we not have this already?
Do we not have this already?
Yes, but you can now turn your phone into that, so it's always with you wherever you go.
Right. Okay, I think we better move on. What's next?
Okay, so there might be a PlayStation Portable revival. This one's for you, Renee. Not really. So Sony left fans devastated when they discontinued the PlayStation Vita. I've got the box of it in 2019, and this sort of left Nintendo as the only player in the portable gaming console market. And people are very sad about that. And there've been rumors about a new one for many years now, but nothing has really come out. up until this week, where the PlayStation Showcase event happened, and they launched something called Project Q, which is basically, as you see, an 8-inch tablet that appears to be sandwiched in between a DualSense controller that's been cut in half. The challenging looks aren't the main problem, though, as it's just a streaming console. You already need a PlayStation 5 for it to work, and all you do is stream games from the PlayStation straight to the handheld using Wi-Fi. That means you can't really take it outside. The latency will be quite extreme. And it just doesn't seem like a very compelling product. A lot of people are disappointed. There's no price yet, but I honestly don't really see the market for it, as you can already get a controller that turns your phone into this, and I assume this might be quite expensive.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was quite good. I could see young people liking that kind of stuff.
If you can't take it away.
But if you can't take it away from your home and you rely on already existing technology, that doesn't seem... Well, it's odd that they are choosing to release this unless it's that it sort of predates something else that they're working on.
Yeah, it's probably just something easy that they can create without creating a whole new ecosystem. It's just probably a PlayStation 5 accessory.
Right, next up, what's next?
Well, I don't know about you guys, but have you ever wondered if your phone has been listening to you?
Yes.
I think it's quite a common conception, isn't it? Well, it might not be a misconception, because it turns out that your worst fear might have been realized, because there's this one Android app, through a sneaky software update, it actually started recording users' microphones secretly without anybody, including Google, noticing for almost a year. So this innocent-looking app was called iRecorder, and it came out in September 2021, and it was just a screen recording app, so nothing too scary. It was quite popular. Over 50,000 people downloaded it. However, they, through a very sneaky update, they updated it in August 2022 to include some malicious code. And it basically allowed 1 minute of audio every 15 minutes to be recorded and sent through an encrypted link through to the developer's servers. Lucas Stefanko from Essential Security Against Evolving Threats discovered this, and he worked out that this was through a certain access Trojan. This is not the first time that something similar has happened on the Google Play Store. While both Google and Apple filter apps before they're able to be launched, Google's filters are notoriously more relaxed. And while there's been plenty of scammy apps that have made it onto both app stores, this is much more prevalent with Android, because you can sideload apps and you can also use alternate app stores. And this is one of the reasons why perhaps not a great idea for the EU to force Apple to allow sideloading and more problematic apps like this to happen.
I mean, it's extraordinary, and the legal ramifications of it listening in. I mean, I've spoken about this a great deal. We've spoken about this, that they are listening the whole time.
Definitely.
They prompt you, the adverts. I told you there's this great story about my mum, and she was having this conversation with her friend, and then it took a turn for the worse, I think, the conversation. But basically, very inappropriate adverts then popped up as a result. So there's no doubt they listen.
No doubt. There is the joke, isn't there?
What?
That the wife says to her husband, "Why are you whispering, darling?" And he says, "Because I don't want Alexa to hear me." And Zuckerberg laughed. Alexa laughed.
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, I do think that this is a brave new world, and I think we need to be very careful about privacy here. And the thing is that we just don't know. We don't know the capability of these things. We also know you were triangulated in COVID. They knew exactly where you were with your GPS positioning. So you know, and people always give me this response saying, I have nothing to hide, so therefore I don't need to worry. I'm not sure that's true.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty problematic.
Yeah, it is. Okay, now this is a really interesting story for lots of reasons. This is about Netflix and sharing of passwords.
Yeah, so if you've been enjoying watching Americans squirm under Netflix's new password sharing crackdown, you can stop, because it's arrived to the UK. Yeah, Netflix has sent, I don't know if you guys got it, but they've sent a letter to almost 4 million UK subscribers saying that you've been flagged for giving friends and family members not living in the same household free access to Netflix. In 2017, Netflix tweeted, "Love is sharing a password." That's quite funny in hindsight, isn't it?
So they basically encouraged password sharing, and now they don't want password sharing because they're losing revenue.
Yeah, almost a quarter of UK subscribers apparently share their passwords, and globally over 100 million households. Netflix's growth has really slowed down recently, and if this experiment works, there's massive implications for the streaming industry, because everybody from Disney to ITV will probably follow in the same footsteps. And Netflix also warned investors of a cancel reaction, because in Spain they lost over 1 million users following the crackdown. So I guess we'll see what happens in the UK.
Yeah, so interesting. I didn't get a letter, but when I logged on, it then asked
Too
me
many
which
users.
Yeah, it asked me which device I was on and so on. Now, can I just ask you a question? Because obviously I live in the country, but I'm in London the whole time, and I watch on a traditional television, which is connected to the internet. Now, the thing is, are they going to block me from using both of my televisions?
Netflix claims that you are free to use the same account on your holiday home, or when you travel to a hotel or something like that. I'm not exactly sure how they're working it out.
Well,
they
that's what I was
probably
gonna
don't know
ask.
themselves. But officially, you are allowed to. You're just not allowed to share it with people outside of your immediate household.
Maybe they should make the service cheaper to encourage more people to buy it and not share their passwords.
Well, the additional cost is, I mean, if you do
It's
say
£5 a person.
So again, this is quite interesting. If you have an elderly relative, say, who lives with you part of the time, so he's part of your house, and then they go home and are independent the other part of the time, do they need a different account?
Yeah, it seems to be the case, and £5 is not insignificant for just one user.
No,
you might as well just create a new account at that point.
And this is £5 a month, remember?
£5 a month?
Yeah,
And
£5 a month.
I don't know what the price is here now, about £12, isn't
Yeah,
it? It
it's a
went
lot.
up. It went up.
It's a lot.
Because I remember when I lived
Yeah.
in the States, it was much cheaper. It was about $9 when I think I first subscribed. So again, this is about revenue raising, isn't it?
Yeah, it completely is. And let's not forget that prices are very expensive in US as well. And we're also expected to have, 5 or 6 streaming services. So it very much is becoming the new cable, unfortunately.
It really is. Davis, always a pleasure. Thank you very much indeed. That was today's Tech Rundown.